The Dutch royalty continued their 4-day tour of the country, and today they are in Nakuru County. We'll be getting that news plus much more, including business and also sports. Welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Njue, and Brian Murari is my co-anchor on the sign language interpretation. We are live also on all our social media spaces, including our KBC digital app. Straight to the news, we begin where state and non-state actors have been urged to implement strategies that not only mitigate the effects of climate change, but also ensure that Kenya's natural heritage, biodiversity and communities thrive for generations to come. Environment, Climate Change and Forestry Cabinet Secretary Aidan Duale, who was speaking during the launch of the National Framework for Climate Services NFCS and the State of Climate in Kenya 2024, say the government is committed to confronting the challenges of climate change with vision, science and unity. He urged all players to be guided by both the hard data of climate report and the visionary framework that charts our course ahead.
In other words, the regional frameworks aims to support member states in establishing and implementing the NFCs, ensuring that no country is left behind, and Kenya has taken lead. Distinguished guests, we must recognize that a resilient member state contributes to a resilient region.
What was remaining is the launch, which was done today, and from now is also implementation. So you can say it's a starting. Now to implement the framework.
We are talking about doing things in an organized way. What we have been doing. Can we easily pinpoint where the weaknesses are? What are the gaps? This framework will help us.
By strengthening our capacity to focus, to prepare for, and to respond to climate variability and extreme events, this framework ensures that Kenya can adapt more effectively to the uncertainties and the changes of the changing climate. Through this implementation, we will see improvement in the agricultural planning sector, water resource management, disaster risk management.
Elsewhere, thousands of residents from Thange Ward and Masongaleni in Kibwezi, East Makueni County continue to suffer the devastating effects of an oil spill that occurred 10 years ago. The spillage has left a lasting impact on the community, with the rivers and health still severely affected. Speaking to Channel 1, the residents shared the numerous hazards they faced, including rising deaths of human and livestock and the degradation of agricultural land, which has led to poor productivity. The residents have strongly criticized Kenya Ports Authority KPA for failing to clean up rivers, urging them to take immediate action to clean up the area and compensate them for the damages they have suffered over the past decade.
Peter's Thange boys. We are doing well as a school.
Tuko na shida ya maji ya shule kwanza. Ile boo ilitengenezwa pale ilipatikana na mafuta ndani na ikafunikwa. Kwa hivyo tuna shida ya maji ya shule.
Ilikuwako na mbuzi nyingi zimekwisha kwa sababu ya kunywa maji ya mafuta haya. Chakula tukipanda mimea yetu tukipanda kama maembe inakauka. Hatuna mizinga yenyewe, nyuki zimeama. Mizinga ninayo pale. Hatupati kitu pale.
Watu wengi ambao wako chini ya society, na ni watu wale wajalipwa ni wengi zaidi ya 700 tukielekea 1000, kwa sababu wale pepe ninasema waliwapatia kitu ilikuwa watu kama 300 hivi.
Tutafute njia mwafaka ya kuhakikisha kwamba Kenya Pipeline wamewajibika. Jambo muhimu na nataka nisisitize kwa watu wa hapa ni kwamba mazingira haya ni muhimu kwa vizazi vijavyo, ili watu ambao wajazaliwa ama watazaliwa wakute kwamba mazingira haya yametunzwa vizuri.
For our next story, we cross over to the county of Nakuru, where Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen is currently addressing the press in the launch of mobile registration drive for the issuance of national identity cards. Is in Shabab, Nakuru West. Let's listen in.
Hiyo verification, enda ulipe shilingi 500 ndio ufanye verification. Napenda kutangaza hapa kwamba hakuna tena verification, pesa 500 italipwa kwa mambo ya verification. Itakuwa ni bure kuhakikisha kwamba wale wanatafuta ID watakuwa wanapata bure. Hata wewe ukitafuta passport, nimetangaza hapa leo, ukienda kufika pahali na uambiwe wakati unapeana makaratasi ya kutaka passport ya Kenya, unaambiwa lipa 500 ndio tukufanyie verification. Nimetangaza kwamba hiyo pia imekuwa bure, ili kwamba verification itakuwa ni kazi yetu, kwa sababu ile documents ikiletwa, there is something called presumption of validity of those documents on the part of government until we prove that they are not genuine. And that's our responsibility. The people of Kenya should not be forced to pay anything, and therefore that is free. Additionally, on
We do apologize for that weak signal from Shabab, Nakuru West County, but the CS Interior is reiterating what the president said, that there will be no verification, and saying that the 500 shillings that people were being asked to fork out in regards to the verification of IDs and also passport, that has been scrapped as well, so that all Kenyans may enjoy identity cards. Now to our next story. Center for Mathematics, Science and Technology Education in Africa, Semester, is pushing for the adoption of practical and innovative activities in all schools in the country. Speaking during the Kenya Science Engineering Fair, KISEF 2025, that is currently taking place in Moi Girls, Nairobi, Semester coordinator Martin Mungai said the activity, which largely involves the use of books, robots, was initially started for STEM model schools, but it's now open to all schools in the country. Mungai says such activity will go a long way in ensuring learners are fully acquainted with first-hand knowledge that will enable them to deal decisively with any emerging challenges in life and use their creativity and innovativeness.
The 60th edition of the Kenya Science Engineering Competition 2025 at Moi Girls in Nairobi. Here, students are tasked to showcase their capability and prowess in robotics. According to Semester coordinator Martin Mungai, such activity will go a long way in helping learners be innovative, especially in tackling challenges in their daily lives.
And this is one of the activities that helps the students showcase their creativity and innovativeness for purposes of development in learning. This is the 61st edition for Nairobi region, where different schools come together to showcase the innovations in areas of science and agriculture, behavioral science, among others.
Semester has a proven track record of providing continuous professional development for STEM teachers across Kenya and beyond.
This is an annual event that happens every year and culminating into national event of National Science Engineering Fair that will be held sometimes later in April at Kangaroo.
Additionally, the fair is aimed at facilitating mentoring opportunities for students and how to deal with emerging challenges in life and not be dependent on white-collar jobs.
We know the highest percentage of our population in Kenya is of the youth, and so not everybody will get employed by the government, or within the private sector, but they themselves become employers, because when they do innovations, they'll be able to market, and therefore they are going to improve the economy of our country.
When science and engineering earlier on was being referred as Science Congress, we were very far from this invention, and currently we can see that our young scientists, they are coming up with a wonderful creation.
Learners hailed the competition, saying it has helped them attain skills and knowledge that can transform their life, turning them into young scientists.
It helps us in generally coding. It helps learners learn more about coding and about science, and helps us discover our talent in creation and creativity.
Moving on, grassroots supervisors of the Inua Jamii program have been challenged to ensure all elderly persons registered to get their monthly stipends. Speaking in Meru, Chief Disabilities Officer Godana Boru hailed the new changes on mode of payment to beneficiaries, which he says will enhance transparency and efficiency. Over 1.7 million Kenyans are currently under the program, with some advocating on the government to increase the amount owing to the increase in the cost of living.
This particular change has been of greater help to them because of the fact that it has reduced the movement from their home to the nearest shopping center where they go and access that particular fund through the banks.
Serikali tunashukuru kwa wamesave time, pesa inatumwa ukiwa kwa nyumba na hakuna wakati utaenda kuqueue town. Unaenda tu unatoa kwa M-Pesa, unamaliza mahitaji yako, unangojea the other month to come. Na tunashukuru sana, hakuna wakati tuna waste kwenda kuchukua hiyo pesa yao. Na hata hiyo pesa inatusaidia sana kwa sababu wengi ni wale hawana mapato yoyote.
Moving on, a section of civil society organizations has urged the government to expedite the implementation of Public Benefits Organization Act to enhance the smooth running of organizations in the country. The organizations under the umbrella of Civil Society Reference Group have criticized recent government directive for fresh registration, terming the process as expensive and out of reach for most of them. Speaking in Trans Nzoia County, the organization's chairman, David Otieno, at the same time rooted for extensive public participation exercise before finalizing the regulations to operationalize the act in a bid to enhance inclusivity in the process.
In May, the government commenced the PBO Act. But we are very sad as SRG because since the government commenced the act, the government has been neglecting the sector. They have been holding meetings and they have been going against the provisions of the 3rd and 5th schedule, which talks about consultation of the groups in the grassroots. You cannot tell people to pay 60,000 shillings to register an organization in Kenya, yet they are being given certificates. So we're asking the government to ensure that in the process of developing regulations, then people are involved in the grassroots.
Naambia serikali yetu ya kitaifa kwamba certificate kama sisi ambayo tunasaidia serikali kuweka watu pamoja na kuambia ili wakae pamoja katika society, certificate ikuwe free. Yes.
Katiba Institute has conducted a campaign in Samburu County to sensitize residents on their right to access to information from various government agencies. Led by Kevin Mabonga, an official at Katiba Institute, government agencies were urged to provide information when sought in accordance with Article 35 of the Constitution. Residents were advised to take legal action when denied important information from county and national government agencies, since access to information is within their constitutional right.
Tunatarajia kukutana na county government officials kuendelea na uhamasisho kwamba haki ya kupata habari ni muhimu kwa wananchi na wale ambao wanafanya katika ofisi za serikali.
Wakati una publicize, unaangalia ni nani unahudumia. Kama unahudumia wale population iko mixed, kuna young people, kuna children, kuna persons with disability, kumaanisha unapoeneza habari unaangazia mahitaji ya different population.
Kuna habari ambayo hatukuwa nayo katika kaunti hii. Ya kwanza KRA, Kenya Revenue Authority, ofisi ilikuwa juu. pale katika Oryx petrol station. Pale ofisi iko juu, na sisi kama walemavu tunataka kwenda kuhudumiwa kama Wanakenya wengine. Tunataka kupatiwa services, kwenda kulipa ushuru, na inakuwa kwamba mwenzangu aliyekuwa na wheelchair hataweza kuaccess hiyo information uko juu.
Shifting gears to matters education, where parents and pupils of Vikutsa Primary School in Isuka, East Ward Shinyalu constituency have staged a peaceful demonstration to protest the indefinite closure of the school by health officials due to lack of toilets and clean water. The facilities are in deplorable condition, making them unusable. According to Patrick Avulizia, Patrick Aluvisia, a member of the school's board, health officials visited the school and after inspection issued a closure notice stating that it would remain shut until water supply and proper sanitation facilities are put in place. The parents, however, opposing the move, claiming a 10-year land tussle has been the hindrance in putting up the required facilities and other infrastructural developments. They are now calling for government intervention since there are no nearby schools to transfer their kids, as the closure has disrupted their learning activities.
Shule imefungwa na inafungwa kwa ajili ya vyoo, choo ambazo ziko kwa hali mbaya. Vita za hapa na hapa hatuipendi sisi. Sisi ni wazaliwa wa hapa, wenye shamba hili ni watu wetu, jamii moja. Hatutaki vita. Tunataka mambo ya shule ya Vikuza iishe na ishe.
Na shule iko na vichaka, shule iko na msitu. Kwa ile nafasi ilikuwa yafai kwa ya kucheza, kuna vichaka na kuna nyasi mrefu. Hata manyoka ziko hapa, kuna nyama za msituni hizi, hata wanafunzi wanaofia mapema kuja sababu ya hizo nyama. So
watoto hadi wapati nafasi ya kusoma. Juu hadi huko vio ni chache. Wanatoka mmoja baada ya mwingine, hata mwalimu akiwa darasani mtoto ni ngumu kufunza.
Wenye shamba hili hitaji lao ni nini? Na sisi kama community hitaji letu ni nini? Usuluhishe. Wenye shamba wapatiwe haki yao. Na sisi community tupatiwe shule.
Still on education, parents in Nakuru County have been urged to embrace opportunities available in the digital space. This comes as a section of parents in the county insist the use of digital tools is a waste of time, urging their children to prioritize agriculture as a source of income as opposed to digital platforms. Speaking at the ICT Center in Keringet, South Kuresoi, the center manager, David Mboro, said a section of youth were facing resistance from their parents on usage of digital tools. Mboro said parents' skepticism remains a major challenge in the area, adding that the growing number of youth finding success in the digital space suggests a shift in economic opportunities, proving that technology and agriculture can coexist as viable career paths.
So alafu ni kama like a gap, kuna gap, so ina join like the inapea opportunities na careers. So alafu you get to earn money through online.
And so far, since we started training Sapa Keringet, we have had over 400 youth being trained at Ajira. And we have had a good success stories. The ones we've had youths kuna wenye wameweza apply from hapo wakaenda Qatar. A person who had a difficulty maybe kuelewana na mzazi, mbona una shida ukienda pale kwa center nini hivyo, na anahitajika majukumu pale nyumbani, wazazi hawaelewi. That is the major drawback hapa. Maybe mzazi haelewi how you can use your phone to work, or rather a laptop to work and get money.
Moving on, more than 100 elderly persons in Umande, Laikipia East, Laikipia County have received food rations to cushion them from the ongoing drought. The donation, organized by Kapu Africa and International Relief for Africa, targeted senior citizens aged 60 and above in the community. The organizers emphasized the importance of providing nutritious meals to boost the immunity of the elderly and combat age-related ailments. They also raised concerns about the neglect faced by older persons, calling for more humanitarian organizations to step in and offer support. The elderly were further sensitized about healthy living.
Chakula kimetengenezwa kwa ustadi mkubwa sana na kimeidhinishwa kutumika kwa wazee na pia mtu yeyote, lakini sana sana wazee ambao wanahitaji balanced diet ambayo inawasaidia kupigana na yale mashida kidogo ambayo inakuja.
We are assisting them with highly nutritious food. This is food that has been tested. We are rice and uji for porridge, highly nutritious porridge, and we are hoping that this will go a long way to alleviate their feeding requirement.
Chakula hii ni ya kujenga mwili na kujenga mapupa, shauri ni tuko wazee.
So tunafuraha leo kuja kuungana na mama zetu kutoka Laikipia.
A burial service at the St. John's ACK Church in Kiambaa, Kiambu County was temporarily interrupted after alleged members of the Mungiki stormed the venue. According to the bereaved, led by Eric Mutura, who is a politician, the alleged sect members were being dropped using buses along the road, causing panic among mourners. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was expected to grace the occasion. While urging youth to desist from being used to fuel chaos, they took issues with two members of parliament from Kiambu County who are alleged to have sponsored the group.
Walihaya kutoka pandi zote za Kiambu, wote walikuwa wamejazana hapa, walikuwa na mwago hapa na maroli. Sasa shida yangu ni kama unaenda kuharibu mazishi ya wenyewe, hii kwa tamaduni yetu it's out of question. Hauwezi enda kuharibu mazishi. Kama kuna vita ya kisiasa na wewe ni mwanasiasa, itana mkutano wa kisiasa, useme vile unasema kisiasa.
Tuko na nafasi ya kujenga nchi yetu kama viongozi na kama sana sana vijana. Ni nafasi yetu wakati huu tujenge nchi yetu, tujenge area zetu kwa sababu kuna kesho. Tusitumike leo tu.
And still in Kiambu County government is leveraging on quality healthcare services after it embarked on a 7.6 billion shillings project to construct 6 level 4 hospitals, 26 level 3 hospitals, which are 90% complete. Another 2 billion shillings will be used to equip the new facilities, which are Thogoto, Lari, Karuri, Juja, Wangige, and Bibrioni, with a further 2 billion shillings used to purchase equipment for existing public facilities. Speaking after the launch of the new medical equipment at the county's headquarters, Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi assured locals of quality health by ensuring hospitals are fully equipped and operational.
We will not have a single municipality or sub-county without a proper functional level 4 hospital that is fully equipped to the last item where somebody can be able to access proper health care.
All level 4s will have new ultrasound machines and selected high level 3s, that is Githurai Langata, they're getting new ultrasounds. And this phase includes upgrading of x-rays in Kiambu and also having a CT scan in Kiambu.
Hospitals are very well equipped and our patients are not being sent outside for any investigation or for any care.
Very well, at about 24 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a fast break, but we still have more news on the other side of this break, so don't go away.
Ziwe juu yake akizidisha juhudi katika ibada katika hii 10 hili la mwisho katika mwezi mtukufu wa Ramadhan. Ishhada an-nabii fauka ma kana yashtahidu fi ghayriha, alikuwa akizidisha juhudi ambazo alikuwa hazifanyi katika miezi mingine.
Moja katika faida ambazo Waislamu wanaweza pata katika 10 la mwisho la mwezi wa Ramadhan kupatikaniwa na usiku wa Lailatul.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
The race for the cherished FIFA World Cup 2026 slot is heating up.
Olunga, the captain, he plays the right ball inside.
Good first touch. They change the lines as Aubameyang gets in behind here. A great opportunity for Aubameyang, and it's off the post.
Lined up on match day 6, Group F is Kenya against Gabon on Sunday, 23rd March at 4 p.m. from Nyayo National Stadium.
Comes back into the air. The keeper's come a long way off his line and he's missed it. And that's the opener for Kenya.
With a new sheriff in town, don't miss this historic Africa qualified duel, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Moving on, Nakuru County Government has partnered with the non-governmental organization to embark on training health workers and community health volunteers to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths through improved critical care services. The initiative is aimed at equipping nurses, midwives, and community health workers with modern skills to improve maternal and newborn care. Dandelion Africa Administrator Harun Karanja highlighted the importance of mentorship and community awareness on antenatal care, hospital deliveries, and postnatal support. According to World Health Organization (WHO), proper maternal and delivery care could prevent over 1.3 million neonatal deaths, 531,000 stillbirths, and 113,000 maternal deaths worldwide.
Inspired by a series of weekly meetings that we normally have to figure out what is causing maternal and perinatal death. So we thought skill development is one of the interventions that we can make in order to bring down the numbers.
Most causes of maternal death, majority globally, even in Kenya, is because of hemorrhage. And part of what Dandelion Africa will support Nakuru County is providing NASG, neonatal anti-shock garment.
We are learning new skills and new skills on how to curb the emergencies that we normally have, so that we're gonna reduce the neonatal and maternal death.
Still on health, stakeholders in the health sector are calling for the integration of mental health in the universal health coverage to ensure more Kenyans access frequent mental health checkups. Led by Thalia Psychotherapy Organization's Chief Operations Officer Masi Mwende, the stakeholders said mental health has often been overlooked in the provision of quality and affordable medication in the country, which limits access to the much-needed care for Kenyans. The players spoke during a 2-day regional health conference in Nairobi.
Integrate the mental health into our healthcare system, then that means it's going to be very easy for us to achieve. We have been able to make great milestones in terms of integrating the care with the current systems that we already have, ensuring that everyone is not left out, everyone is being screened, and early prevention is being done to reduce the level of curative mental health care treatments.
Mifumo inaendelea kubadilika. Kama sahi kuna wale ambao pia wana offer zile services za kudumuisha ili wahakikishe kuwa imekuwa rahisi na kwa urahisi wa kila mtu kuweza kupata. Kwa hivyo naona ni muhimu sana waweze kuzingatia masuala ya msongo wa mawazo kwa jamii.
These issues generate to other issues like drug and substance abuse. You'll find drivers are using a lot of drugs. They're taking alcohol, stimulants to just enable them to work because of these work-related issues, especially, and maybe their social background. So these ones contribute to road crashes.
Parents and teachers have been urged to encourage learners to discover and use their talents at a tender age. According to ballet instructors, inculcating talent and skills with classwork has better learning outcomes and it makes learning interesting for learners. The ballet instructors who spoke during the 3rd edition of the Royal International Ballet Competition here in Nairobi said that through taking part in such events, learners' confidence and morale had been boosted. Top performers were fitted during the competition.
The child is able to enjoy the schoolwork, so that the child has so many selections to choose.
They have gotten self-confidence exposure on how other people are dancing, and so we are happy that they are even having a stage, a stage confidence, feeling that also them they can do it.
The importance of it is to let the learners practice or showcase what they learn in school. Being that we're in the CBC, where talent is more what is being done. So this is just a competition to motivate them to learn from each other and for them to improve their skills.
Moving on, a Safe to School project has been launched at Kilimani Primary School, aiming to enhance road safety for children. The program aims at upgrading infrastructure such as zebra crossing, speed bumps and sidewalks with protective bollards. 1,600 students in the school are said to benefit with a similar exercise, having been undertaken at Kayole Primary School last year. Automobile Association of Kenya has worked with the Kenya Urban Roads Authority to mark school zones, install signage, repaint road markings and provide road safety training for students and school marshals, a project to be replicated across the country.
How to use the road and how to cross, because you can know how to cross and maybe usage of the road can be a problem.
As we work with the other partners, the road agencies, we just want to demonstrate how they can be doing the infrastructure around the schools. Simple things like having the speed bumps, just to ensure that the vehicles are controlled, that they are going at the right speed, and so that the possibility of hitting a student going to school.
We are here to see that the improvements are happening, that the kids, when they come to school, they are in a safer place, that they can cross the road with safety.
A section of conservationists in Malindi, Kilifi County are calling for urgent government intervention to curb illegal dumping of waste in the region. The environmentalists under the umbrella of Progress Welfare Association of Malindi say the haphazard dumping of waste is threatening the environment and Indian Ocean's aquatic life. Led by Malindi Green and Blue chairperson Efio, the stakeholders have also raised concerns over the increased encroachment of the riparian land within the region, which further exacerbates environmental pollution. Then the conservationists who spoke during their monthly cleanup exercise in the area at the same time advocated for heightened sensitization of members of the public to curb the menace.
And this is mostly contributed to because of the illegal the people who have constructed illegally along the beach on riparian land. And we'd like to encourage the departments of environment and also the government to look into it, because we have a lot of diapers that are being dumped into the illegal dump sites and other waste. And all this, when the water comes, it goes back into the ocean.
Some of the marine life are affected by the trash which is deposited along the beach or which ends up in the ocean. When you look at marine species which are endangered, like the sea turtles, most of the time mistake plastic for jellyfish. The next cleanup will be on 12th April. So we ask the stakeholders to come on board so that we can do this noble idea of protecting the voiceless and also making sure that our visitors come to an area which is clean.
From the coast to Embu, where authorities have launched a manhunt for a Burundian national suspected of running an illegal cannabis farm in Kikuyu, Embu County. Acting on a tip-off from concerned residents, police in Kikuyu sub-county uncovered a half-acre plot in the Kid Pharmaco area secretly cultivating commercial-grade cannabis sativa. Investigators say the suspects camouflaged their operation by planting maize and vegetables near the entrance to avoid detection. Speaking during the incident, Kikuyu Deputy Commissioner Charles Laboso urged landowners to remain vigilant, warning that undeveloped property could be exploited for illegal activities. Shocked residents, many unaware of what was growing in their neighborhood, are now calling for a security crackdown on all unoccupied plots, which they say have become hideouts for criminal gangs.
Tuweza kukuja hapa na kweli tumethibitisha kwamba kuna mimea ya bangi imepandwa hapa. Sasa ile shughuli ambayo tuko nayo ni kumtafuta mwenye shamba na wale ambao wameajiriwa kufanya hii kazi. Tungependa kila mtu ambaye ako na shamba ambalo halitumiki waweze kudevelop kwanza. Pili, kama wakati hawaja develop wajue kwamba ni hatia kutumia shamba kufanya biashara ambayo sio halali, kama kupanda bangi ama kuweka miadarati ama kuuzia pombe ambayo sio halali.
Still on that hub, police in Isebania, Migori County, have arrested the suspect in connection with the discovery of 14.5 sacks of bang found at a residential house in Tarakwiti area. In a separate incident, police impounded 23 cartons of explosives, 4 drums of cyanide, each weighing 50 kilograms, and 2 cartons of detonative wires in Isebania town. Migori Police Commander Francis Nguli says the bang, estimated at about 12.9 million shillings, was hidden in a house which was under surveillance by detectives.
This is just one of the areas that we invaded and of course impounded this large consignment, which has a street value of Kenya shillings 12,960,000 shillings. You can see the kind of damage which this consignment, if it had left Isebania to other areas, the kind of damage to our children, to other innocent Kenyans. So we are very much alert, and our surveillance will not be limited. Let the members of public assist the National Police Service and the Ngao team, because we work as a team.
Embu County Governor Cecily Mbarire has called on health facility boards in Embu to prioritize service delivery following numerous complaints about substandard health care services. Speaking during the swearing-in of new board members for Chicago, Ishiara, Runyenjes Level 4 and Embu Level 5 hospitals, Mbarire highlighted the critical role of the boards in overseeing hospital administration, approving budgets and promoting the development of healthcare facilities. Mbarire has called for accountability and transparency in their day-to-day operations.
Na leo wameweza kuapishwa kulingana na sheria, na watafanywa kitu ambayo inaitwa induction next week, ndio waweze kujua kazi yao na expectations zile tuko nazo kwao. Hii kazi ni kazi ngumu, na tumeongea kwamba watahakikisha wana monitor, wanafanya oversight ya ile kazi inafanywa kwa hizo hospitali, na wana report vile maneno inaendelea.
Time to make sense of business. The government is banking on cruise tourism to increase international arrivals, targeting 3 million visitors this year and 5 million by 2027. Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says Mombasa is gaining recognition as a preferred cruise destination, referencing last month's visit by Norwegian Dawn, which docked at the coast with more than 2,200 tourists and 900 crew members. She commended the Kenya Ports Authority and private sector players for facilitating smooth port operations.
In terms of security, we have a lot of improvement, and our county commissioner is here We want to assure our visitors that they can walk freely, that they can feel secure, and we have enough measures that have been put in place to ensure that they have security. Also to tell Kenyans that tourism is for all of us. Let us continue to have the hospitality, the smiles that we are naturally endowed with, and that we all become ambassadors of our own country to promote tourism.
One thing that is very special about this vessel, she's going to stay here for 3 days, 3 good days. We are used to seeing vessels staying for only a day or even less a day. But today, we are receiving this vessel staying here for 3 days, which is a plus for the local economy because the cruisers, the passengers will go out to town, do shopping. That's good for business. It's good for the port.
From tourism to agriculture, where stakeholders in the sector are calling on the government to formulate policies that will promote organic farming to promote food security in the country. Speaking during a media consultative forum in Nairobi, BioVision Africa Trust Executive Director David Amudavi says chemical fertilizers are becoming less beneficial to farmers due to the high acidity levels due to prolonged use. Amudavi called on the government to incentivize companies that produce organic fertilizer.
Use organic products. So at the end of the day, even if we are growing our foods, let us, as much as possible, try to grow our foods organically. And I can tell you, between you and me, whoever is here, if you are given organically grown food here and inorganically, you'll probably choose the one that is grown organically.
Ecological practices are very good at ensuring that the carbon, instead of getting out so much of the carbon dioxide, we still need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis for our crops. But agroecological systems are able to get more carbon into the soil. And that is why we say that soil health is very much dependent on soil organic matter.
Now, will the capital injection by Rubis Energy Kenya save the fortunes of National Oil Corporation of Kenya? That is the question as attention shifts to cleaning the company's loan book and turn around it to the market. Yesterday, the government announced that Rubis Energy has entered into a 6 billion shillings non-equity partnership with the state-owned oil and gas company. NOC Managing Director Leparan Olemurintant said the oil and gas business is capital intensive, requiring substantial investment and operational flexibility to stay competitive.
Government documents indicate that as of 2024, NOC has been grappling with the rise in debt owed to banks and other creditors, which are currently valued at 7.9 billion shillings. To eliminate these legacy debts and to find a path to corporate profitability, the state agency has sought a new direction.
And so to us, a rebranded, refreshed, much better looking and appealing retail stations for the National Oil Corporation, coupled with increased volumes, with increased profitability.
The partnership is a component of NOC's broader turnaround strategy, which aims to scale up its downstream operations and strengthen its position in the petroleum products trading and marketing space. This entails ensuring security of petroleum supply, stabilizing of fuel prices, and reduction of the cost of living and doing business in Kenya.
And so with Rubis coming in with working capital and financing capital expenditure, it means that we are going to rebound back to profitability, our volumes.
As a non-equity strategic partner, Rubis Energy Kenya will provide financial support, working capital financing, market development initiatives, and capital expenditure capex financing for rebranding, rehabilitation, and expansion of NOC's retail network. The partnership also encompasses the development of a new enterprise resource planning system to improve business processes and customer experience, and collaboration in the fuel card business to enhance customer engagement and service delivery. Alan Auko, Lunchtime News.
And the Association of Real Estate Stakeholders are urging the government to accelerate internet connectivity to all land registries in the country to fast-track the digitization process. RESA Director Crispus Washira says lack of stable internet at the county land offices remain a major challenge in fast-tracking land transactions in the country. RESA says that digitization would play a critical role in curbing fraudulent activities within the land sector, streamlining transactions and reducing the time required to process land documents.
And taken through to all the counties where land activities. We know land is everywhere in this republic, and we have registries in various county headquarters or even sub-county headquarters. Where they are not properly networked, we urge the government to expedite the process of networking so that the network is available, and then because...
So what we have done, we have proposed amendments to the bills that to the Act, the Real Estate Act, to ensure we can give recommendations on how we can regulate the industry best. So we have done this. We have had some meetings with the committees of Parliament and Senate to ensure that we are able to get the right bill and the right act for the sector.
Now, the government is exploring ways to develop the country's drone industry to grow the country's transport and logistics sector using the technology. Transport Principal Secretary Mohammed Dagar says the Ministry of Transport will begin by restructuring the drone aviation regulatory framework to tap into opportunities in the NASET sector. This comes as Kenya hosts the inaugural Africa Advanced Air Mobility AAM Symposium in Nairobi this week, bringing together innovators and industry leaders from across Africa and the globe.
To explore these kind of NASET industries and how we can bring it up to life. We have identified the challenges and we know what we need to do. You know, from having the proper regulatory framework to investing in R&D, that is research and development, to investing in infrastructure and water.
Working with OEMs, working with government and regulators and other industry players to see how fast we can roll this out. So, for example, we need a proper framework, integration of the traffic system, the air traffic management system, regulatory framework to be enhanced.
Technology comes in as a bit of a premium service, but with scale and democratization from a cost perspective, we will see this coming and being affordable. So that is part of what we are addressing with our OEM partners.
WRC Safari Rally Kenya will be flagged off tomorrow morning in Nairobi before two stages at Kasarani and Mzabibu in Naivasha. The main event starts on Friday with more than 380 kilometers set to be covered in this year's rally.
After completion of the first two legs on the 2025 WRC calendar in Monte Carlo in January and Sweden in February, the Safari Rally Kenya, the third leg on the 14-leg series, will be flagged off tomorrow in Nairobi. Drivers will then head to Kasarani for the 4.76-kilometer super special stage before heading to Naivasha to tackle the 8.15-kilometer special stage in Mzabibu. On Friday morning, the Safari Rally Kenya begins with 32.20-kilometer Camp Moran stage and then heads to 19.11-kilometer Loldia 1 stage. The third stage on Friday will be geothermal of 13.12 kilometers and end the morning session with a 15.10-kilometer Kedong stage. Friday afternoon session begins with the second Camp Moran stage, then to Loldia to geothermal and finally Kedong. The 26.88-kilometer Sleeping Warrior will be the first stage on Saturday morning before drivers head to the 17.31 kilometers Element Taita and finally the 79.32 Soisambu stages for the morning sessions before the 3 stages are tackled again in the afternoon. On the final day of the Safari Rally Kenya, drivers will begin the day at the 18.33 Oserengoni stage and Hell's Gate before going to Mzabibu for the second time. The final 2 stages will be at Oserengoni and Hell's Gate, leading to the awards ceremony, where the 2025 WRC Safari Rally Kenya champion will be crowned. After Safari Rally Kenya, action moves to Spain for the Rally Islas Canarias on the 24th to 27th of April, and then Rally de Portugal on 15th to 18th of May. The season ends at Rally Saudi Arabia, which is the 14th leg, set for 27th to 30th of November 2025.
And on that need for speed note, we wrap up KBC Lunchtime News on behalf of everyone who has made this broadcast a success, including our correspondents who are in various parts of the country. Thank you so much for making time. More news in our subsequent bulletin and also at 7 and 9. But don't forget to check out this news plus much more in our digital platform, that is Facebook, X, and also our KBC digital app. Do have yourself a blessed one. I'm Ben Njue. Brian Moraru has handled the sign language interpretation.
Wellness is important in our daily lives so that instead of just surviving, we should be thriving.
Ways to prevent a stroke or heart attack is for you to know what conditions you have by regular checkup. People don't know they have hypertension. They don't know they have diabetes.
I was pre-diabetic. I was afraid of getting lifestyle diseases because I come from a family that has lifestyle diseases.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
The race for the cherished FIFA World Cup 2026 slot is heating up.
Olunga, the captain, he plays the right ball inside. Good first touch.
They change the lines as Aubameyang gets in behind here. A great opportunity for Aubameyang and it's off the post.
Lined up on match day 6, Group F is Kenya against Gabon on Sunday, 23rd March at 4 p.m. from Nyayo National Stadium.
Comes back into the air. The keeper's come a long way off his line and he's missed it. And that's the opener for Kenya.
With a new sheriff in town, don't miss this historic Africa qualified duel, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Ni matumaini yangu mpenzi mtazamaji ubuheri wa afya na karibu katika kipindi cha mkulima. Hiki ni kipindi ambacho huwa na mfululizo wa makala mbalimbali ya kilimo na ufugaji, lakini pia kilimo biashara. Jina langu ni Francis Ngala. Njoo tuandamane hadi tamati ya kipindi hiki. Mtazamaji, kwa kusikia ufugaji wa samaki unaweza kudhani tupo baharini, lakini la mtazamaji, tupo katika eneo hili la Makueni ambapo tunaangazia ufugaji wa samaki katika vidimbwi na jinsi ya kupata mbegu wa samaki katika mtindo wa kisasa. Karibu Faith kutoka Makueni atusimulie.
Hapa ni Makueni. Eneo hili ni kati ya maeneo kame nchini Kenya.